A car out of one. I pray this devil die and get every evil thing the Lord got to give. And listen, I know you look at us in the state we in right now. Come here, SHALAM. Come here, SHALAM. I know you look at us in the state we in right now. Black people on drugs, and we suffering and dying. And I know it seems like you can do whatever you want to this people. I know it seems like this, but the time for glorifying yourself is soon at an end.
SHALAM. This is Officer Parashia out of the I.S.U.P.K UK. Next to me, on my right, is Trooper Karathia.
Shalom.
And on my left, Trooper Dungabar.
Shalom.
Now, on Monday nights, we have the radio show hosted by Commanding General Yahanna. That'll be at 2 o'clock, where he'll be addressing topics in the black community. Also, Tuesdays to Friday, we have live online classes starting at 12 o'clock. Do remember to bring in all your questions. Also, do remember to pay your tithes. It's a commandment. Also, we have classes on Wednesdays at 11 o'clock and Saturdays at 10 o'clock. So now, let's get into the topic of today. The topic of today is evolution. Now, the reason why we're doing this is because over in the UK, a lot of people tend to believe this, following what Charles Darwin taught, and also now it's starting to take effect on us, the so-called black people of like a West Indian descent. So if you could you get me the first scripture, which is Psalms 14:1.
The book of Psalms, chapter 14, verse 1. The fool have said in his heart, there is no God.
He has said what?
The fool have said in his heart, there is no God.
And that's what they say, there is no God. We all say that the earth is just made of itself, and that there is no God. And that basically a concept of God is just in your mind. You're just doing that as basically a fake form of confidence. Only a man that don't have the wisdom of God, only they could say such a thing like that. Continue reading.
They are corrupt.
And also they are corrupt. If you do your research on a lot of people that promote this sort of belief, they are corrupt. A lot of them are heavily into homosexuality, or they're into some stuff that is contrary to the Bible. If you could get me Psalms 19:1.
Psalms chapter 19, verse 1. The heavens declare the glory of God.
Alright, so with the sky, because with the heavens, this is referring to the sky. So with the sky, it declares the glory of God. Why is that? When you look up in the sky on like a nice warm day, the sky is blue, the clouds are out. At night, you see the stars. This declares the glory of the Most High. Continue reading.
And the firmament showeth his handiwork.
And the firmament, talking about the ozone layer, that's the handiwork of the Most High. This didn't just happen by itself. This is by design. Even in so-called evolution, they have a theory called cause and effect, meaning for something to have of being caused, someone had to have done a effect, meaning that the person that done the cause is greater. So even in their own so-called belief, even they understand that nothing doesn't come from out of thin air. Someone had to have had created it. Continue reading.
Day unto day, utter of speech, and night unto night, show of knowledge.
There, so everything that the Most High does, it shows the wisdom. So from the sun up to the sun down. Continue reading.
There is no speech, nor language, where their voice is not heard.
So that means all over this earth, everyone has a different speech or a different language the voice meaning all the inventions of the Most High, they're not heard meaning everywhere all over the earth. Everyone can see the creation of the Most High. Continue reading.
Their line is gone out through all the earth, and their words to the end of the world.
Continue reading.
In them hath he set a tabernacle for the sun.
And the sun too. The Most High, He made the sun. You know what I mean? This isn't just some invention that just happened out of a Big Bang. Continue reading.
Which is as a bridegroom coming out of his chamber, and rejoiceth as a strong man to run a race.
There, so with the sun also runs its course too. Is there any more in that?
His going forth is from the end of the heaven, and his circuit unto the end of it, and there is nothing hid from the heat thereof.
There, and with everything, with the heat of the sun, everything gets the heat. That's how plants grow. And even for us, the sun gives us vitamin D as well. So, again, this shows that, with this earth, it's by design. So anyone following that evolution philosophy, they're wrong. And they will have a lot of things to explain as well. Next scripture, Psalms 64 and verse 5.
Psalm 64 and 5. They encourage themselves in an evil matter.
Alright, now, so this is talking about the people that invented this so-called philosophy. They encourage themselves in a wicked manner. Continue reading.
They commune of laying snares privily.
Right, so they lay snares privily. A snare is a trap, so this is just nothing else but a trap. They don't want you to come back to the laws, statutes, and commandments. Continue reading.
Who shall see them?
Who shall see them? That's what they think. They think we've done this and no one ain't going to find out. Continue reading.
Verse 6. They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search.
They search out these iniquities and they accomplish a diligent search. Now, a lot of the so-called bones that they find, there's even records showing that these bones were basically put there by some people, and then afterwards they dig it up, pretending like they've found a skull, showing that with this ape it turned into like a half man. That's something that they made up, and a lot of people that seen the skulls and examined it, they was very upset because they had to travel really far, and then they're saying that look, it is obvious that with this skull, someone has obviously put this together. Continue reading.
Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep.
And it's deep. With these plans, they're deep. They're not just so basic and straightforward. They plan these things for like years to come. So first they invent the idea, then they push it in the schools, and then basically they want to teach it to your kids too. Continue reading.
Verse 7. But God shall shoot at them with an arrow.
So now with God, now they have their plan, but the Most High, He's going to turn that plan back on them. They think they're smart, but no one on this earth ain't smarter than the Most High. Continue reading.
Suddenly, and they be wounded.
And they be wounded. So that plan is not going to work. Continue reading.
Verse 8. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves.
And that's what they do. Their own tongue falls upon themselves. They will say, we found this proved this. But then when people examine it, they go, well, if you're claiming this, then that shows that in your own belief there are flaws. And then what? Now they have to answer a whole lot of other things as well. Continue reading.
All that see them shall flee away.
Also now, everyone that acknowledges that with these philosophies they're fake, they're going to flee away. Continue reading.
Verse 9. And all men shall fear and shall declare the work of God.
And that's what everyone's going to do. Once everyone understands that these works are fake, that these philosophies are not of the Most High, they got no choice but to come back to the Most High. That's the end of that. Give me in the Apocrypha, 2nd Ezra 8 and 55. 2nd Ezra 8 and 55.
The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 8, verse 55. And therefore ask thou no more questions concerning the multitude of them that perish.
Alright, so now, for those that are going to die, don't be asking about them. The only focus should be is worrying about you following these law, statutes, and these commandments. Continue reading.
For when they had taken liberty, they despised the Most High.
So that's what they do. When they had their freedom, they despise the Most High. And that's what a lot of these people do. Charles Darwin and another guy, I forgot his name. His last name's Huxley, but you can look him up. These people, they despise the Most High. Continue reading.
Thought scorn of his law.
And they thought scorn of his law. A lot of them, they was open homosexuals. And there's even a document where one of them even admitted that, well, the only reason why we follow this is because the Bible is attacking our conscience, and we don't want to be under subject to the Bible. So that's why they always make up these kind of philosophies where they can do all the wrong they want, and there isn't nothing attacking their conscience. Continue reading.
And forsook his ways.
And they forsook his ways. You making up some Big Bang and or other kind of philosophies. You are forsaking the ways of the Most High. Continue reading.
Moreover, they have trodden down his righteous.
And that's what they do. As well as making all these philosophies, they also trodden down us so-called black people of West Indian descent, all up in Birmingham, Brixton, Hackney, wherever we be as well. Continue reading.
And said in their heart that there is no God.
They said what?
In their heart that there is no God.
And that's what they think. They think they can do what they want. And as well as making up these philosophies, they convince themselves that there is no God as well. Continue reading.
Yea, and that knowing they must die.
And what?
And knowing they must die.
And knowing that they must die. So now that's just a quick breakdown. Now in class, we can go into it a bit more in depth. Now do remember, on Monday nights we have the radio show hosted by Commanding General Yohanna at 2 o'clock. Live online classes Tuesday to Friday starting at 12 o'clock. Do remember to pay your tithes. That'll be 10%. So if you earn £100, £10 will go towards tithes. We also have classes at the Young People's Alliance in Handsworth. Wednesdays at 11 o'clock and Saturdays at 10 o'clock. So this is Officer Parashia. Next to me on my right, Trooper Karathia.
Shalom.
And on my left, Trooper Dom Gabar.
Shalom. This is the I.S.U.P.K security announcement. We are the I.S.U.P.K, started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, found in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21. Also in the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 8 through 10. Ma'ashra means 10th in the Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to Treasury Department or the teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. Check with the teacher and all Akim. Check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband or scarf.
When nowadays I work hard on the job, till I come cross shore, still like I'm a criminal. Crime and get caught, it could be your first charge. Like man, you ain't getting the minimum. It gon' dip, squat, 5 mile run, push, pull, sit on, goddamn, strong. Looking at my baby, trying to keep them doing wrong. It's too long for they grown, I can't leave them on their own. They kill Daddy like he my manhood. Hey, black women,